What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
I'll be back.
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, I encourage you to go to DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have little old me at your event. Today on the program, Meosha Bean. Yes, Meosha Bean. She is a filmmaker. That's what I have. I found her on the Instagram, and I thought it was cool that she's a filmmaker, and I wanted to learn a little bit more. She has a really good Instagram. So, Meosha Bean, we'll be talking to her in just a few minutes and finding out a little bit more about what she does. All right. And this week's shows, and let's see, today is Wednesday and tomorrow is Thursday. Yeah, it happens like that. Usually Thursday is follows Wednesday. So there you go. And then what's the next day? Oh, Friday. That's right. So Thursday, I'll be in Russellville at the Old Post Barbecue for the video dance party karaoke jam. That's family friendly. So bring the whole family. It's a great after school treat. If the kid has got his homework done, her homework done, come on out to the Old Post Barbecue. I've even seen some kids doing their homework at the Old Post Barbecue while they're singing some karaoke songs. It's great, and then there's some adult beverages in case, mom and dad want to imbibe. Sure, why not? I keep the music family friendly, so bring everyone. And then that starts at 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock. So that's the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. And then Friday night, my regular Friday night show, it's in Conway, Arkansas, from 8 until 2 in the a.m. Oh, where? Where, you say? Yes, it's the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, right up on the hill between Conway and Greenbrier. Go to the Rab. Come out and play Friday night. They got a full bar. The kitchen is open. They have the pool tables. There's a tournament that goes on every Friday night. So if you want to try to make some money while you're hanging out on a Friday night and waiting for me to call you to sing your song, yeah, you get to be the star of the show. You get to sing the songs. So while you're waiting, you might want to get in that pool tournament and try your hand. And maybe you can win a couple bucks while you're hanging out at the Rab with little old me. Yeah, 8 o'clock until almost 2 in the a.m. And then Saturday night. I got to find something to do for Saturday night. Usually I have weddings or parties or something. I guess it's just getting too hot. Global warming is real. That's been my mantra all day long because it's been so hot. There's a big ball of fire in the sky, and it seems like it's getting closer and closer. Global warming is real. I guess maybe that might spark a few comments below. So, hey, all right, let me see if I can dig myself out of this hole. It's time to talk to Meosha Bean. Let's call Meosha Bean now. Hi, Meosha Bean, please.
Yes, this is Meosha Bean.
Hey, Meosha Bean. It's Keys Dan with the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
Great. Thank you.
How's life in L.A.?
Life in L.A. is wonderful. I love it in L.A. L.A. is awesome.
Well, all right. L.A. is awesome, but that's not where you began. I was trying to figure out where should I begin with Meosha Bean, filmmaker, because that's the little blurb, the tight little box that you have on your Facebook page. But I know you're so much more. You're so much more. Let's begin with the simpler things like Meosha. That's a cool name. Who gave you that name?
Well, my parents.
I believe it.
Yeah, they gave me the name, and it means vigorous, nonstop moving, Yeah.
In
And
what
that's
language?
literally what I do. That's my life.
In what language
Always in the job.
is Meosha?
Japanese.
Japanese. Okay. All right. Any ties to Japan?
I don't. None. None at all.
Were the parents just fascinated with Japanese culture,
Yeah.
perhaps?
Maybe they're influenced, sure, but not. Yeah. Not at all. No,
All right.
no family there at all. So.
Yeah, you wonder what's in a name, a rose by any other name, right? But
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. And all right, I'm from Florida, from South Florida, from Miami, Florida.
Oh, Miami, from Miami.
I am.
I'm a fellow Floridian.
Oh, born and raised in Miami, and
Awesome.
I just recently got to Arkansas. I say recently; it's been since 2009, so maybe it's 10 years now. I started
Wow.
my whole life over in Arkansas, but you're from Gainesville, Florida, as far as I know.
Yes,
So
I am from Gainesville.
So would that be more considered South Georgia, or is it a Florida life?
Yeah, it's literally like not far. It's the next town over is Jacksonville and Orlando as well. It's all like in the same area, kind of, sort of. But yeah.
So tell me
More
about
like-
young
like
Meosha
campus.
Bean
Yep.
in Gainesville.
Me in Gainesville. Well, I knew that I wanted to. I remember one summer I went to the library with my mother, and we rented the Alfred Hitchcock series. And ever since, when I was like in middle school this time, maybe a little younger, and I watched the series, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be that guy. I love Alfred Hitchcock. So I just fell in love with the process and how he would tell short films. And they were just really good. I mean, beautifully written and told. And he was just so good. He was definitely one of my inspirations of why I got into filmmaking from the beginning.
So
And from there, to my parents, I wanted to do this, and I pursued it. So I started off, YouTube. When YouTube was good, I would make, my short films, I would post them out on YouTube, and I had a big following at the time, and people would like totally watch it. Like if you go back, 2006 is when I think I jumped on YouTube.
yes,
I was like 16, 15.
yes,
And
the early days of
I
YouTube.
started like my short films were getting traffic, like 100,000 views on some and 200,000. I'm like, oh my god, this is great. People like it.
Yes,
Something to this, And so from then on, I knew obviously that this is definitely what I want to do, and I want to continue it. My parents, invested in me, and as I got older, I took an acting class, modeling, got to that, did a bit of that. Finally, as I got older, still making short films and stuff. Went to film school, Full University in Orlando, Florida. I majored in photography. So
wait, which
I
university
just
did you
fell in
go
love
to?
with- Say it again?
Which university did you go to?
Oh, Full Sail.
Oh, Full Sail. Okay.
Yeah.
I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting myself. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, but Full Sail, I mean, just the name itself, it lends to prestige. But I'm sure you learned a lot of the same things with the audio and video broadcasting. At the time, were you using Cool Edit and Pro Tools and
Yeah.
that kind of thing?
Exactly.
And I guess for video what was it? Premiere or what were you using?
Premiere, exactly.
Oh.
And I'm so glad that we're so far now in technology. We have so many great, things to use, and so I'm just like happy. Final, you have Adobe, just so many great tools now. It's like, now we're in a digital world, so it makes filming even easier.
Yeah, but even in Full Sail, I'm sure you were cutting and splicing tape, weren't you?
Yeah.
Day one, you got to learn the basics.
Yes, absolutely. But, I have a big appreciation for it. I really do. But I definitely love digital. Like I love it.
Sure. I mean, when I started radio in '86, and I remember it was cutting and splicing tape to get your commercials out. So you would really, if you wanted to have any kind of effects, you would be on a reel-to-reel taping onto a tape on a tape player or a cart machine, and I'm sure you learned all this when you were in Full Sail, where you probably had the fake radio studio and then the fake video studio, and that's where you get your basics. That really is. It gives you a little taste. So I encourage folks to I don't know what I got out of broadcasting school, but I know I got the basics. Yes, I remember getting to the radio station. That's where I learned. And I'm sure for you, going to your first job, in the entertainment business, in the audio or the visual, I'm sure you learned on the job, right? Meosha Brown?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Bean? So many things I learned on the job. And I got to, finally when I moved to LA. I've been here now for about 5 years.
Oh, 5 years now. Okay.
So, yeah. And, so I kind of hopped around before I came to LA because, you hear all the rumors like, oh, you don't have a plan, you're gonna fail. This business is just dark and it's horrible. And so, I was a little afraid. I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Computer.
Young girl in the big city, all by yourself. I'm sure it's very intimidating, to be sure. And so, did you know anybody in LA when you first got there?
I did not. I had zero people, people. And I just remember this guy on Facebook was like, "Hey, when you come to LA, contact me." This guy could have been a killer.
Could have been, yes.
But I took that chance and met with him, and he gave me a job.
So, Meosha Bean, you're the kid, got off the bus in L.A. with, not a dime to your pocket, or, you had a couple bucks that you saved up in Gainesville, maybe? What did you...
Yeah.
Did you have a place to stay?
None. I literally just, it was like now or never kind of thing for me.
That is crazy sauce.
I drove my car from Colorado Springs to Los Angeles, California. This crap car, by the way, it was like terrible, but it got me here.
Oh yeah, and I know I-40 all the way to the 15 to the 5.
Yeah,
I've been that track many times myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of sound like the Californians. I take the 15 to the 5 and take the
right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Let's back up. All right. What did you do in Gainesville after you got out of Full Sail? What was your first taste? What was your first foray? And this is probably, let's see, you were born in 90, and you get out of school about what year did you graduate?
It was like I was like 20, 21, like almost getting there around that time. Like, because I was, what I did was,
so we're going to 2001. Okay.
Yeah. I got this job. It was a friend of mine he's a rapper at the time, and he was like, hey, so I want you to do this music video for me, and happened to do with a boxer named Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I had no idea who he was, so I was like, all right, whatever, cool. Be cool, like, job and whatever. And it turns out to be, like, something that changed my life. I was there for 2 years.
I believe that.
Shooting his videos and working with him, like the best boxer of all time. And it was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is amazing. So it was one of those things like, I had no idea what was like waiting for me, but.
So is that really the first thing that you did? Rocky Balboa music video was the first thing that you directed?
Professionally, yes.
Right out of the box.
Right out of the box, yeah.
That's big time. That's big time.
I was like, this is going to, hey, I have some angels watching out for me. This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Did that just propel you to a different tax bracket?
That again?
Did that propel you to a different tax bracket?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Immediately.
Everybody knows who Meosha Bean is. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get it. Oh, I like that. It's nice. But there was still some work before you got there. Before Rory Jones Jr. heard about Meosha Bean. What was the work that you did to get to that point? Teach the people that are listening to this podcast. What does it take to become you?
Yeah, well, I think it just takes hard work and dedication, and like you have to love what you do. So at the end of the day, like like I felt like I'm a workaholic.
Yes.
I think I developed it really early, and I just love it. I love what I do, so I took every opportunity. So whether it was working with another, somebody else, or working with another crew, meeting people, connecting with people, and just creating content, that's what I did.
Yes.
To get my name out there. And I mean, I just took every opportunity that I was offered. Really, I said no about, to like, I never said no, basically, because I was like, this is the part where I need to learn all these things. I need to get I need to learn everything. I want to absorb it all. I want to learn everything. And I mean, I already knew what my genre of choice was. I knew it was definitely horror. Like, horror films were what I always wanted to do and make. I still had that goal in mind. But in order for me to get there, I was still making my shorts and putting them out and submitting them to film festivals. And I saw that the film festival route was a great route, too, to get my name out. So I submitted it to a few, and I won at, like, a young age. I was a teenager, won at a New Jersey Film Festival for Best Upcoming Director. And I was like, wow. And they sent me my trophies in mail, and they were like, congratulations. It made, you got Best Upcoming Director. And I was like, whoa. The fact that I beat out some really people who have, some years of experience. And I just like, I can do this, I think. I can do this.
Yes.
So that was something that was helpful to get my name out as well. Like, I did little commercials. I also did acting, so that was another route. I did a few commercials in Florida. Okay. I got on an agency with John Casablancas for a minute.
What kind of commercials?
It was like a car commercial, like a Hyundai commercial, and what else? Like Ford. I did a few like window modeling stuff, and did some extra stuff in Florida. Like, I was getting, just trying to get my name out there. Just trying to work and be known in Florida before I, like, do anything else. Because I was thinking, maybe if I can conquer this, I can conquer anything else. I can go anywhere. Like, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere kind of thing.
Yes. and you're right about that don't say no. Get every experience that you feel, wow, this is kind of interesting, but I don't know if that's in my wheelhouse. Put it in your wheelhouse. Learn it. Take every opportunity. If something gets thrown at you, you are so smart, Meosha Bean, for doing that. Yes, and all this is tools in your toolbox that you've gotten from a young age, and so you get out of Full Sail and you just start swinging, taking swings at the ball, to coin a sports reference that I'm not sure I'm using correctly. So,
you did great.
Hey, sports talk. I worked on a sports radio station in Little Rock, Arkansas. I know nothing about sports, so there you go. But I learned a little bit. See, that was another thing. That was one that I took a chance and I swang at it. They said, "Hey, can you work on the sports station?" Sure, I can. Sure.
Right, sure.
So I'm reading the paper. I'm learning. But yes, Meosha Bean. So you're modeling, you're acting, you're doing local commercials in Florida, and this is great. This is great experience. Did you do some stuff behind the camera as well while you were in Florida?
I was, I was doing a lot of work. Like, I was filming a lot in Florida, like a lot of projects and things of that nature. Like, I was doing it all, whatever, because that's what I wanted. That's what I, was most passionately about, was cinematography. So that was my main thing that I knew that I wanted to do. But I developed a love for directing as I got older, definitely.
So what was the thing in 2012 that you sent to New Jersey Film Festival that got you the award?
Oh, it was a horror film that I did.
Film. What film was that? What was it?
It was called Wireless at the time, and I wrote it. It was like this little competition. Hey, submit, blah, blah, blah. And I read about it. And it's funny, I was talking to this amazing film director on Facebook. She was pretty popular in New York, and we were just, conversating, like having a great conversation on online and keeping that dialogue with each other. And she knew that she saw my shorts and she's like, "You're really good. You're so young. Like, I wish you were here and I could just just like have you around, because she's like, you're so good. Like, you have a gift." And, just to hear that kind of stuff from her was like amazing. And she sent me this festival, New Jersey Film Festival, link. It's just like, submit. And I was like, okay. I was like, I will do it. So I wrote this little short project. Didn't think anything much of it, but I shot it, I wrote it, and I was in it myself. And I submitted it, and they loved the concept, and they thought it was brilliant. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you.
So what was Wireless about?
Wireless, okay, so Wireless happened to be like, okay, so it's almost like, I'm trying to think of a movie reference, but maybe it's like, okay, so I'm home, there's a phone ringing, and, there's nobody on the other line, obviously, and so I'm like, okay, what's going on? That's just weird. Kept ringing, no one's on the other line, no one's saying anything. It just goes beep, and I hang up. And then I just unplug all the phones from the house, and, it ends where the phone, finally their phone stops ringing, and then at the very, very end, you get a knock at the door, and like a phone rings at the same time, and it's like, oh, and it goes off like, oh, what's going to happen? And did she die? Who's at the door? That kind of thing.
No, it leaves you in that suspense. It leaves you thinking, didn't it? Oh, that's great. Where can I see this film? Where can I see it? Oh,
gosh. It's probably in, archives, to be quite honest. I was so young. Oh, my
goodness.
I have so many shorts, though, that
yes, you do.
When I was 17, 16, that are still on YouTube, that I submitted to film festivals and stuff like that. So they're there. Some of them I'm not embarrassed to watch.
No, everything. Everyone comes from somewhere, and Meosha Brown, Meosha Bean, you've come from somewhere, and this is cool. I've stalked your IMDb, and yes, you have a list of credits to your name, and we can go one by one and just get the feel of what you were doing at the time. 2011, you did Elf. What's that?
Yeah, 11. Yeah. I've done, that was, that's actually on YouTube still. That's on YouTube still.
Yes.
I was pretty young. That was on YouTube.
And that's
a
something,
Christmas horror.
Another horror. You see, now when you said horror, and I apologize, I haven't seen any of your films, but you said you were influenced a lot by Alfred Hitchcock at an early age, and he did thrillers that were kind of horrors. Is that the lines that you're in, or are you straight up blood and gore? Or
well, it depends. I like horror. I like psychological horror for sure.
Okay.
The kind that's like The Birds and Rear Window.
Oh yeah.
Those the situations that can actually go horribly wrong. And it's like, oh my God, what do you do? And it's, to me, that's scary. That's a horror. That's like a mind bending kind of situation that you're in. You have to figure it out. But I like those kind of projects, like psychological horror for sure. Like where it's almost like Get Out. You could say that was a really good one. There were so many.
Something with a message. Something with a message. A cautionary tale.
Yeah, that also leaves you oh my God. Yeah. What if that was a thing? That's really scary.
Right.
I'm not really into the monsters and.
Oh no!
Freddy versus Jason.
The reason Jaws worked so well because the shark did not work, so they couldn't use it so much. So it was a lot of water splashing. Oh, we're splashing the water. You don't see the monster. We're splashing the water. You don't see it. For you it would be ruffling the trees. Oh, there's wind going by. Well, what is it?
Yeah.
What's going on? What's happening? Can you see something? No, I cannot see anything. What is it?
Yeah, like Bird Box.
Oh my goodness, Bird Box was ridiculous. And I'm people were just raving on it. I'm going, wow, that was crazy. That was crazy. If you did not get it, you did not like it. But if you got it, you loved it. Oh my goodness, that you were And they were like, really? Is that all it was? Really? You know, you didn't get it. You didn't get it, man. The suspense was what's going on?
Amazing.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah.
Got you, you know, maybe the ending kind of been, you know, it could be anticlimactic, but getting there, that's the journey. That was what that flipped me out. So Elf, what was Elf about? And you said you were very young, 2011. This is even before you won the award. Probably one of your first films that you put out there.
Yeah, this is up there. Yeah, I have a lot that I deleted. I have some since like 2006 that I just didn't credit. I was like, I'll just keep those.
Oh.
I've made so much now. I've made so much more since then. I'm like,
okay.
Guys, look at my new stuff. I look how much I've improved.
Yeah. Oh, of course. You know, and I know people go back through my podcast and listen to the first ones, and maybe the first ones weren't great, but I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I'm getting better. They're just conversations, getting to know Meosha Bean, you know, right now,
Thank
today,
you.
And that's what I'm doing. So, okay.
I love it.
Let's keep going. 2013, The Dark Rises. How did that make you feel? What's that about?
So that came about because I watched this movie called Revelation. It was like this Christian film, and I was like, well, was it? Yeah. So it was about like if somebody got left behind, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And I was like, ooh, I want to put a spin on it. Like, you know, maybe this girl wakes up and her family's gone. She doesn't know what's happening. Like their cup's there. Like, so, and she she's basically lost her faith over time. And, you know, but she wakes up and all her entire family's gone, vanished. And now she has to find her brother. She knows that her brother's alive because she called him. And he's like, oh my God, everybody's gone. People just like disappeared. And, you know, and I'm like, where are you? And I was like, we gotta, you know, he tells me where he is. And then it kind of like, we have bad reception. I have to go find him, you know. And so there's this guy that comes to my house who works for the government, and he's making sure everybody's, you know, dead or gone.
Okay.
So he comes in with a gun and he's looking around, and I have to hide. And obviously, you know, it was like those like close calls of like he almost sees me, but he leaves the home. I pack up my bags, I leave, and on the way I meet like other people that were left that didn't, you know, were not taken, I guess, if you can say. They were just the ones that were the leftovers that were left behind, essentially. Okay. And so it has like a little bit of a religious tone.
Yeah, two things come out of that. I'm looking at, did you grow up very religious?
Well, you know, I definitely have some influence. You know, the church for sure. My parents, they were very, you know, and were in the church, and my dad, you know, pastor. So yeah, I was like kind of inspired to make it like put a spin on it, but like make it scary, but also like, ooh, this has never been done before. Like this is kind of creepy.
Okay.
And I got some cool actor friends.
Yeah, have you all? You're all listed as playing yourselves. Were they versions of yourself, or did you use the names, your own names, I guess, and that was it, or was it, you know, sort of biographical? What if you were in this situation? Did that happen, or was it just that you use your own names?
Yeah, I just use my own name.
Okay. Because a lot of times you see actors and they'll play versions of themselves, maybe a caricature of themselves in a show or a movie. And I thought maybe that might have been what you were doing. But cool. All right, cool. So there was a little religious thing to it, and you grew up in the church. You said dad was a pastor?
Say it again?
Your dad was a pastor?
Yeah, pastor.
In Gainesville?
My dad.
How was that growing up?
It was cool. I mean, I had a good foundation. You know, they taught me well to love everybody and to love others. And it was one of those things. Like I was, you know, very supportive parents. Even though I didn't choose to do anything in the church like that way, I just was like, I want to be a filmmaker. And they were like, well, we support you.
Okay.
And we love you regardless of what path you take. They're rooting for me, and they supported me, like, and still do. You know. That's sweet. So they're very cool. And through Dark Rises, I got to get casting. I cast some international actors in it. So a lot of there's like a lot of actors that audition and they put their videos in. So I got some people from Brazil, UK actors. No kidding. But yeah, really popular actor. I think Salvador Rucco, who's really popular in Italy. Yeah. He's a big Italian actor, award-winning. And at the time, they were like, I reached out, and I was like, hey, I'm making this kind of a short like a mini feature kind of. It's like a mini short.
Right.
And it's like almost like 45 minutes long. And they were like, I sent them the concept and they were like, sure. And I sent them the script where they can shoot their scene and where it's how it would look. And I would dub it in the film.
Oh, okay. So they didn't even have to come to Florida. They didn't come to you.
Not at all.
They shot their own things in their own spot, and you directed them from where you were. The internet is incredible. This World Wide Web is incredible. I'm talking to musicians that have never met their guitarist, their drummer. I talked to a musician in Australia. He's a guitarist. I needed a drummer. I got one from the Middle East. I needed a guitarist. I got one from Germany. And they all sent their stuff in, and he mixed them down in Australia. And that's what you did in Gainesville. What?
Yeah.
That is incredible. Did you ever get to meet these people face to face?
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the actors, actually two. One that's a big actor in France.
Oh,
It's Alan De La Vie. He's actually, we kept in contact. Mostly everybody that I've worked with or that from internationally, we still keep in contact. And I'm like, when we meet, we're going to totally meet and work on something or somehow in person. And Alan and I just kept, have this dialogue, and finally Alan came to LA. I think 2000, and I've been now for like 7 years.
So cool.
And he came to LA maybe 4 years ago, and we ended up talking about making a project, and which is the movie that's coming out on like streaming sites, Netflix, Hulu this year in October, called Anatomy of an Anti-Hero. So we shot it. He asked me to. He wrote it, and he's like, "Hey, read it. Tell me what you think."
Yes.
And I thought it was great. It's a martial arts film.
Yeah, he plays Frank Denard.
Yeah, it was a series.
Yes.
And I came on season 2, 3, and 4, but then I didn't really care to do we thought maybe the series was good.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, we can sell it better if it's a feature.
Right.
So we basically went back and reshot some things, did some casting. We got Billy Blanks who does Tybo, and
yes, I know Billy Blanks. He sold many videos, including a few to me.
Yeah.
I learned some Tybo from Billy Banks.
Oh, cool. Bob Wall from Enter the Dragon, who was in the scene with Bruce Lee, the famous scene, Eric Roberts. So we had a really cool, got some names on it. We packaged it up. We tied everything back in together so it can make sense. So season 2, 3, and 4 you can't tell it, but it's a feature.
That is great.
We blended it in very well.
See, yeah, it's so amazing. And so are you editing, or you have somebody that's editing this?
Yeah, we had somebody edit it. It's done. It's actually done. The feature's done.
Yes.
So it comes out it'll be out this year. We got distribution for it, so we're really excited about it.
You've alluded to it, Meosha Bean. It's a team effort to put these things together, and there's a giant team. Yes, you may be the director, you might be the filmmaker, you might be the writer, and the early films. Yes, when you were getting your feet wet, you were all those. You were the actor, you were the director, you were the brainchild behind all those things. But you're seeing that the bigger films need more people, need more hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and it starts to develop. And I'm so happy that you met these people. And, perhaps one day, here I am in Central Arkansas, chit-chatting with Meosha Bean, she's already got so many things laid down. And one day maybe I'll get to go to L.A. and meet you. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I've been to L.A. a few times. I enjoy it out there. I like the sun, the warm California sun out there having fun. So, all right, we'll keep going. These are all shorts. We've talked about Elf and Dark Rises, Miss Pepper 2016. That's even in the title, 2016. What's Miss Pepper about?
Oh, it was about this writer. I was going through some like a really depressed moment, like a time in my life, and some situations in my family kind of went kind of sour. It was a death in the family that really kind of shook me a little bit. So I was like, instead of being mad and upset about it, I'm going to write something about it and make it use my creative outlet to try to get, some type of relief or some type of monetary, peace.
Yeah.
About it.
From pain and sadness comes creativity. I've said it before.
Yeah.
and it's been said before. And that's where you creative juices came from. So you're talking about the family. Dad's a pastor. What did your mom do?
Oh, she was a teacher. She was a teacher.
Teacher. So. See, you get a good foundation there too.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
Yes, they're still around. They're still alive and well.
Gainesville.
They're in Alabama now.
Alabama.
So.
Just a short trip over.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. And brothers and sisters?
Yes, I'm the baby. My brother is in Idaho. My two sisters are in Florida still. So yeah, or I'm the only one that is here by myself.
Okay, you're the black sheep who decided to go off and do something different. No, is everybody else in the religious business like Dad, or what did they end up doing, brothers and sisters?
My brother kind of, sort of, but he's in the Air Force, and my sister, they have nothing to do with the film industry, but they just live. I think it was a nurse and one's a truck driver.
Oh, that's excellent, excellent. Yeah. Truck drivers, the veins of this nation. Of the world, really. Without truck drivers, we got no goods. And nursing, I was a paramedic for a while, so yeah, I appreciate that as well. So
yeah,
what do they think about what you're doing?
They love it. They love it. They support it. They knew that I was a weird. They're like, Meosha has always been the odd sheep in the family. She's always been the one that's just the loner, which spend time with her camera, whether just be with her camera versus people. Or creating.
Were you always filming them
by herself?
Were you always filming them? Yeah. What did you make the family do? I'm going to direct you in a film right now.
Yeah. They were like, okay, fine.
Who got you your first camera?
Yeah.
Who got it?
I believe it was my brother. My brother was in TV's production, so I owe him a little credit for getting me a little excited about the film stuff, because he came home with this big, huge camera when he was in high school. He was in TV's production class, and he brought a camera home. It was so cool, and I just was like, "Ooh, I want to hold it." Yeah, he didn't really see it much after that.
Go, bro! You didn't know, bro. You didn't know that you were setting the tone. You were planting the seeds in Meosha Bean and sending her off on her career. This is great. See, and that's the start. That's the spark. That might have been the turning point when he handed you that camera. So. And I don't know if he let you use it or you just said, "No, I'm taking this. I'll be using this for a while."
He let me use it sometimes, and when he wasn't home and he was there, I just take it.
Yes.
Shoot all the time.
Yes.
So I was shooting on the VHS camcorder at the time. It was cool.
And then on the weekends, you after you film all this stuff, you put it in the VCR and you make the whole family watch it.
Yep.
Yes, you did. You said, "Look what I made.
Indeed.
Look what I created out of nothing." And this is the beginning of Meosha Bean. This is how you started, and then you go off to school and you perfect it. Then you go off and make your modeling and TV commercials, and you perfect it even more. And you make your short videos and you perfect it even more. All right, we're at Miss Pepper 2016, and and beyond that. Let's go further. What's hard? Let's see.
Requittals.
Hard requittals. I have to learn how to speak. So, hard requittals. Also in 2016. That front cover looks a little rough. Yeah, he looks very stern. What was that about?
So I was in LA this time, and
you had gotten to LA in 2016.
I came to LA at that time to shoot this short.
Oh, okay.
And it was a friend of mine it was actually an animation film. It was an animation called Hard Requittals, and this guy named Ufuni Arkai wrote it. And my friend was like, "Hey," he sent it to me on YouTube or shared it with me on Facebook, one of those, and he's like, "Check it out. Tell me what you think." I looked at it and I saw it. I was like, "Dude, this is a great short." And he was like, "We should totally make it to a live action." I was like, "Let's do it." So then, we got the cast together, some really great, fantastic actors. went through the casting process, did a cold read, and we cast we got our cast, we got our equipment, shot at Griffith Park, right there in the heart of Los Angeles, California. Took about a few hours, maybe like roughly 8 hours to complete all of it.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, they were just fantastic. They were off book. They were nailing it. These are some fantastic actors who have like years of experience. And so the fact that they were like, yeah, I want to be in your short. And we ended up submitting that short film to a few film festivals. One of them were the Pan-African Film Festival, which is one of the biggest film festivals here. Nate Parker, who's the guy that did I think he's a pretty famous actor who did some films out there. So he was premiering a project out there, and we had our film accepted into it. So we got like HBO that was there. They covered it, and then we had a Q&A, and we in a big theater and talked to everybody about our film. And it's a psychological film about this guy goes to the park. You follow this guy, and he sits down in the park next to another guy, and he's like, hi. And so apparently this guy, it planned it all. It just seemed like a normal conversation at a park. Yes. And you find out that the guy is, as the conversation kind of, transpires and gets, deeper and deeper, you find out that the guy that's sitting down is talking to his ex, like the guy who convicted him for like years behind bars. And this guy didn't know that this guy just got out. He has never saw him, like met him, like face to face, but he got him years in prison. So he just got out and he wanted to get his revenge. And so it's really well written. And so he's talking about, I got your wife. Your wife is, home, waiting for me. And then when she gets home, I'm going to kill her, slice her throat. And he's just like, no. And as he's talking, he starts to, go into like, the guy starts to kind of like start foaming at the mouth because he's actually been poisoned. So his coffee that he got that morning at the coffee shop, the guy was there. He put the stuff in his coffee, but you don't see it until after everything kind of transpires. You go back and you're like, oh my God, that was him at the coffee shop. I didn't see it. Like certain details you see, when you go rewind the tape.
Right,
like, oh my God,
you watch the film again and I missed all that. You have to pay attention.
Yes.
You touched upon something. Anyone who wants to be an actor, especially in an independent film, you need to be off book when you show up to work.
Absolutely.
You need to be ready to go because you only had a day. If you were having to shoot scenes over and over and over, that's wasting your time. So the mark of a good actor, and yes, this is for anyone who's thinking about becoming an actor, is learn your lines and show up to work ready to go. You touched on that they were already off book, and it only took you one day to film this. How long was that short? I didn't see it on the IMDb.
I think it's about, I want to say it's about 8 minutes long.
Okay.
Maybe 8 or 9 minutes long. It's it's like dialogue heavy, so
right.
It's very well written. I mean, Mifune did such a great job, and my producer partner Kente Ferguson, he came through, and it was great, and we won an award, and HBO was there, and just to get that kind of recognition was great, and so a lot of cool things came from that. So that from there then came other filmmakers and women in film coming to contact me about things. So that was the start of it all, really.
So, Meosha Bean, what constitutes a short? How short is a short, and what becomes a feature? Is there minutes involved? Does it have to be a certain length?
For features, they're definitely longer than 45 minutes in length.
Yes,
sure.
I imagine.
But shorts, I believe, I've had to pitch for Fox this year, which was really, really cool. I pitched this project with a friend of mine named Lucy Kroll, who's a fantastic writer. And we went to the Fox studios together, and we were pitching this concept, 4 different concepts for a TV commercial, and that they were doing, and they were saying these are short that were under essentially like 2 minutes long. Okay. So that's considered a short So I was like, wow, that's a short. Even a minute? He's like, yeah, it's a short. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. It seems like what would be a scene? Some people just say, oh, this is a scene, or I'm shooting a skit, or, Saturday Night Live has a bunch of sketches. So what's the difference between a sketch and a short? I'm kind of.
I think sketches are more like an improv kind of thing. Well, kind of improv-y a little bit, but it's more like you have more. It's not as serious. I think for me, shorts are definitely more serious because it's like you still have you have a script. It might be very, very short, but you're shooting these scenes like 3-4 times depending on how much coverage you want.
Oh, okay.
And then sketches, you're just kind of some directors kind of vibes are just they're just kind of the thing is like, you know what? I'll just keep shooting, and we're just gonna be an ongoing shot. Or okay, cool, great cut. Let's move on to the next scene of the sketch or whatever. And it's like it's pretty fast paced. It's less serious. I think you have more room to like mess up and stuff versus shorts. It's like, okay, guys, this is what we're talking about. Let's not go off book. Let's go off book, but let's stay within. Everything I wrote, I want you to say it just this way, the way we rehearsed it.
Gotcha.
Sketches are more like you can have a little bit more freedom, I think.
A little more improv, maybe?
Yeah, I don't really do sketches like that, but I've done a few YouTube sketches.
Okay.
And they were just like, have you heard of what's his name? He's a big YouTuber. Oh, man. Jake Paul. Jake Paul.
Heard of him.
So my friend shoots for his videos, and we went to the house one time, and he lived. Yeah, they would just all these YouTubers were just literally living together, making sketches all day and uploading them to YouTube. Yeah, and so they're just all day coming with a concept. They're like, right, oh, this is a good idea, dude. Let's do that. Let's shoot it right now. And they have a guy that shoots, and they just run down Hollywood Street and shoot something. And just wing it, really.
Yeah, I think I saw a little documentary where he was featured in that, and a few other of the YouTube creators were in it, and yeah, they showed his house, and he's got this little backdrop that he puts behind him with a little camera, and away he goes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yep. So, okay, 2016 was pretty eventful in your short life, and I'm looking, and as I go up through your IMDb, the shorts become more structured, and I see more. More actors are in there. Camera Phone 2, 2016. Right. It looks like the poster looks like a horror. Camera.
Yes.
So okay, I never even knew there was a Camera Phone 1. What was Camera Phone 2? How did you get involved in that? Tell me about it.
Yeah, that was actually a guy named Eddie Brown Jr. He actually film director from Florida, and he contacted me through. Oh, I was actually in Florida at the time. I was in Gainesville.
Oh, okay. So you went back and forth in 2016.
Yeah. Okay. So I was. It came out. Well, he contacted me in Florida and was like, "Hey, I have this concept. Read the script. Let me know what you think." I didn't know. I never met him. He said that he's been watching my stuff, and he thought that it would be a great opportunity for me to like come on board as a director and shoot this this project. So I read it, and I thought it was a really cool concept about these phones have. These different phones that these kids find one night have different videos on them, and so whatever they watch kind of goes and haunts them or whatever. That whatever goes to whatever, it will come. It'll kill them after they watch. So it's like kind of watching. In 7 days you die.
No.
But you die the way the video shows you. So whatever that monster is in the video is what's going to like manifest in reality for you.
Yeah, I see Eddie Brown Jr. He's from Perry, which is pretty close to Gainesville, and you never knew him. It's never, so funny. Yeah.
I never met him until he contacted, and I met him at the premiere that time. We had a premiere in Texas for Camera Phone 2. He did Camera Phone 1. I came on 2.
Yes.
And yeah, we had a premiere. My mom went, and it was a really cool red carpet. Met a lot of people out there in Texas. So it was really cool. We had a big premiere in theater, and people seem to love it. It's actually on Amazon Prime, I believe, and some other places still. But yeah, I didn't get to. I only shot some scenes in Florida and sent it to him.
That's great.
And he did the rest.
So how did your mom feel going? How did your mom feel going to that premiere?
Oh, she loved it. She was like, "Oh my God, it's at a premiere! Oh my God!"
She get all dressed up. You feel like a star.
Yeah, my mom was like, "Oh my God!" I looked back and you look so cute on the red carpet. I was like, "Mom, stop!"
Yeah. Oh, doting on your kid, your baby girl. Oh my goodness! All you want is your kids to excel, to be better than you. All right, all right. Was that your first real premiere that you went to? Or did any of the other? I
say more or less it was definitely one of the biggest ones because it was somewhere out of town. I was in Texas, and and it was in Florida. It was somewhere I'd never been before. So I guess you could say that's definitely one of the biggest ones that I've been
that you were involved in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, Me, Myself, and I, short film, 2016 again. Where are you at? Tell me about it.
That's in LA. I did that actually because, I have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And that's how I kind of essentially got my start, I would say, as far as fans, developing fans. And I have over 15,000 something subscribers.
Yes.
Now. So a lot of the people, fans were like, make shorts. Can you make another one, please? Oh my God, I can't wait to see another one. So that was a concept of if I saw myself, like my doppelganger. Right. What would I do? Would I follow it? Would I, would I just let it, keep going? So the short film is curiosity kills cat. So I'm coming out of the store one night and I get in the car and I see this woman that looks oddly, quote, like me. And I'm like, oh my God, who is this?
Yes.
And I crank up the car and I follow her from a distance and she walks into this house. And I'm just curious. My character is curious, so I get out of the car and I watch her from a distance, and she turns around and she looks just like me. It's like, oh my God, what do you do? So those situations, if you did to yourself, would you follow it or let it be?
Meosha Bean, you're sending chills up my spine just relating them to me. Just describing these things. I'm getting little chills. Oh, I'm excited. I'm going to look up every one of these and find and check them out for sure. All right, we're going further. All right, we're going to the next year, 2017. The Untold Story, Mariano Mendoza.
Ah, yes.
Tell me about it. Oh, a documentary. Okay.
A documentary. It's on, we got distribution for it, so it's in Best Buy stores. You can rent it, you can buy it, you can, whatever you want. It's out for the world to see. It's, so I did the documentary. A friend of mine, who's an actor, was like, oh my God, you have to meet this guy. This guy's story is incredible. Met him, was the sweetest guy, just the sweetest guy you could ever meet. Had a great story. I think we all have stories that we could tell. And, and he had just a really good heart. I think that's what kind of got me. And he really wanted to get this documentary of his life out. And he went from MMA fighting to actor to doing stunts. This is a really incredible story. While coming from a poor upbringing to where he is now in Hollywood as a known Mexican fighter. Yeah. So it was a really cool story of overcoming, and I thought it was a really cool inspirational story to tell. So we met up and I loved him, and we sat down and got a budget together and concept, and we shot it. Did the interview. I interviewed him, talked to him, and we got some B-roll and shot it around LA and places that he grew up. So he had some people that he hired prior to hiring me.
Okay.
That totally just left in him high and dry and was like, we don't want to finish your documentary. This sucks. I'm out. No. And he was just kind of left in the, so it was unfortunate. And I'm glad I could totally get his stuff out there. And, he was only looking just to get it done. And I was like, we can get distribution. So I had a manager at the time that knows a lot of distribution companies out here. I think distributions are the thing for independence.
Right.
It's a great way to get your stuff out there, to have somebody to distribute your work streaming, because everything is it's streaming now. It's like no one watches cable. So we got the concept out, and the company were like, yeah, we want it.
Oh,
Signed the contract, and that's that.
What a great feeling, though. And this is, I guess, Big Dog Entertainment, perhaps? Is that who that is?
Yeah, that's his music label company. He also dabbled in music and things like that. So he has a really interesting story.
He looks like a big tough guy, but he's a teddy bear.
He's a big guy.
He's a teddy bear. Yeah, usually the biggest, toughest, baddest looking dudes. They're teddy bears because they don't have to fight you. People are scared of them, so they're like, I don't have to worry. Nobody's going to fight me because they're so big, and that's great. I'm glad you got his story out. The filmmakers want to tell stories, and that's what you did. You said, "Hey, there's a story. I think I'll tell it. I'll help you tell it." And you're telling your story on my podcast, and this is great. I'm learning.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you, Meosha Bean. We're going through your. I was trying to figure out how to structure this, because I usually don't structure them. I usually just have a conversation, and we learn about each other. But okay, let's go to I See You, and that's 2017 as well, and that's a short called I See You.
Yes.
What's that about? Stranger breaks into a home.
It's, again, my YouTubers were like, I'm making concepts, I'm putting them out. So a lot of these shorts were accepted into film festivals.
Great.
And, every short I make, I submit to every film. Like, I submit at least to 20 or 30 film festivals. And some that I have relationships with that I still actually work with, and have personal relationships with, because I had some films
in the U.S. only or beyond?
International too.
International as well. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anybody get any recognition outside of the country?
Yeah. I think we had we had some. I love Europe. I love Europe. I think Europe, like they're just awesome.
And you've gotten out of the country. You've been out there.
Yeah, I've been to Europe. I've been to France. I've been all over. I've been to England.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I haven't been out of these United States.
Oh, it's the best. I think it's the best teacher to get out and see the world, and you have a huge appreciation for life, and just you learn so much about people and that human interaction, that we're all connected and that we're all one at the end of the day, no matter our differences.
Yes.
It's beautiful how differences, but we all are connected, and we all have a story. And I think that's something that everybody should do, is travel. It's a great teacher.
I like that, Meosha Bean. I like that. Good insight. Okay, so I think I cut you off a little bit about I See You. It says a stranger breaks into a home but stumbles upon more than she could imagine.
Yeah.
Verb. Ooh.
Gotta check it out.
Yeah, and that's a YouTube video. See, that's a great thing. Yeah. You're giving that to the creators of tomorrow. Is you don't have to wait on a company. Just create something, put it out there. YouTube is a great platform. It's probably the biggest platform for video, at least. There's some smaller ones, Ustream, and some of the Vimeo, I guess, is another one. But yes, YouTube is the king. You put it out there and share it on your social media and see if somebody likes it. If you make something that you like, somebody else is going to like it.
Right.
Because like you said, going all over the world, people are more the same than you think. People are people. They all want the same things, food in their belly, roof over their heads, kids protected. Sure. All right. Going further into the mind and the body of work of Meosha Bean, and let's see, 2017, Anatomy of Anti-Hero. Okay, that's when you got involved with that, and you're making that into a feature.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited for you.
Me too.
And then
Me
six.
too. Thank
Yes.
you.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's coming. It's coming together. It's coming along. And you've been doing it for so long. Since 2016, you've been out there just doing the work and walking the walk. Really, just hard work, like you said. Sixth Floor, 2017. What's that about? Sixth Floor.
Oh, that was another psychological. It's kind of like one of those the concept of so she essentially is on a, she gets, it's like an ordinary day. She's coming home as usual, like a routine day where she comes home and she just, relaxes, get off, she gets off of work, comes home, relax. But this day she comes home and she gets out of the elevator. She's looking around and she gets to the door and it's the number, it's not the right floor. And she notices that she's in the wrong floor. And then she's just like, okay, strange. So she gets back on the elevator and presses the number again, 6.
Yes.
And it opens up and she's like, okay, this is not the right floor. What's going on? And it keeps taking her to this one floor. Finally, then she kind of she hits the number and it opens up and she's, on her floor. She walks she's walking around and she kind of freaks out because now it's like the numbers are changing and she's freaking out. She's like, okay, is this a dream? Kind of like essentially being lost in translation, like kind of that concept of like you're lost and it need, it's like this, it's like deja vu. It's like, is it, I think we all have those moments of like, this happened before, or this is weird. I've been here before. This is strange. I can't explain it, but so you take that concept and you kind of exaggerate it a little bit. And then she finally, gets back in the elevator, it gets stuck, and then it kind of freaks out a little bit. The elevator freaks out, hits the very, very top floor. It opens on its own, and she's like freaking out. She walks out as she's walking slowly down the hall, like this long, beautiful hallway shot. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Jack Nicholson scene in
The Shining?
His site, yeah.
In The Shining or what?
Yeah, in The Shining, in the cycle got, and it was like such a nice hallway shot.
Oh,
it was such a long, beautiful hallway. I really just wanted to shoot because it was just visually beautiful.
Oh, that movie
This
still
place
flips
that we
me
shot.
out. Oh, yeah. I watched that
Yeah.
movie. I know exactly what's going to happen, and I still freak
Right.
out. Why? Because the young man was Danny. And what's my name? Danny. Come play with us, Danny. Come play with us. No. Movies just affect you. And you're making movies that affect you. So, yeah, and here, I have you listed as the actress, the director, and the cinematographer. How do you do it all by yourself? Are you running some kind of a remote camera with a hand in your pocket? How are you doing it all by yourself?
I'm upset. I'm a workaholic. I don't go to sleep. I never go to sleep. I'm serious. Like everything, every day.
Oh,
even on my off days, my friends are like, "You're insane."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, listen. I know what I want.
Yes.
And I know that I want to be at a certain level before I get in my 30s. So
you're not even 30. That's right.
So I'm really just kind of like pushing it because I really feel like I know, like I'm involved in a lot of organizations and women in film, a company called Boyish, where it's women, essentially, women, a group of women that, content created by women for everybody, but just by women.
Yeah, I saw that you're featured there, and they took the blurb off of your IMDb and put you right out there on Boyish. So that's amazing.
Thank you, and an opportunity. Prime TV is another company that I'm partner with my friend who made this platform for independent filmmakers to submit their work, whether they're short films, documentaries, features, music videos, whatever. Because essentially, there's more. We honor the independent filmmakers.
I saw that. The best library of award-winning indie films for only $250 a month. Hello.
Yeah, $250. Come on, you can't beat that. That's
you can
pretty
do
incredible.
No, and you're going to get some gems. You're going to get people that are creating some of the newest minds,
right?
That are out there. and I'm so impressed that you're involved with that as well. So
Thank you.
yeah, no, you're welcome. Meosha Bean, going further into your life, into your body of work, Animus in 2017. And these are all shorts that you created for YouTube, I'm guessing. And
yeah. A lot of my fans know me from YouTube. A lot of people know me from YouTube.
Yes.
Like I have a video that I think one of my videos hit 1 million something views, almost 2 million. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh,
I loved it.
Yeah. You say, I've made it. Done. I'm heading in the right direction. That's right. Prison Muscles, 2018.
Comedy, sketch, short.
Oh,
an
comedy?
actor friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and this is with your friend that did that you did the with Mariano Mendoza is in that one. So what you did was you did his documentary, and then you tapped him to be a part of this project. That's great.
Yeah.
See, you make those contacts, and you never know where your paths might cross again. How did he get involved with that?
Know.
You asked him, or what happened?
Oh, well, he had this short that he had a concept he wanted to write more, and he was like, I think this is a funny little concept for a short film. And I thought it was kind of funny. It was like on martial arts. So really it was like kind of stepping back into the martial arts world because I just came off of like season 3 of Anatomy.
Yes.
And, and doing the whole choreographing and directing choreographed martial arts. And so for film, and I was like, dude, let's do it and make it a comedy. That'd be hilarious. Why not? And, even though that's not my genre of choice, you never know that connection and that project could lead to somewhere else down the line, and most of my projects like that have been that way, where a lot of it has been like referrals or, oh my gosh, Meosha's great. She's a great cinematographer. She's a great person to work with. And, it turns into this I should contact her. So that was just another job opportunity. And so now that I'm out here, I can actually, I shoot movies for a living. So just to be in that position now, it's just really great. But it doesn't stop me from creating my own content, which I know a lot of actor friends of mine who are on television or whatever, they're like, look, even though I'm on TV, I still create my content. I'm like, that's smart. You have to.
Yeah, Meosha Bean, this is a callback to what you said before, not saying no, getting out of your comfort zone. I'm not so sure if that's on brand with me or if that's something that tickles my fancy. No, let's try it. Oh, Prison Muscles? Yeah, I've worked with you before. We're developing a business relationship. Let's go in another project. And then you had some kind of a series called Women Talk with Meosha. Is that something that you were doing as a series?
Yeah, it was a series. It was essentially just because I know a lot of beautiful women in this business who work really hard, and a lot of people, I think they should know about them. So
absolutely,
I got some known actresses and some known people who are just creatives, and it's just women supporting women and having a conversation, talking about their lives and sharing it with the world. And we got to season 3, and I definitely want to continue it. I just kind of been so busy with other projects that I haven't had time to go back in to make a season 4. But I'm so
happy, Meosha, that you've been building other people up. As you're coming along, you're taking people with you. And that is the way to be. You cannot be famous unless you help other people. You cannot succeed. I say famous. You cannot succeed unless you help other people along the way. You have to develop these relationships, these friendships, and genuine relationships that will help you throughout your life. And yes, you're doing it. You're doing it. Just having that series called, Women Talk with Meosha, that tells me that you want to showcase these other women as you build yourself. You're building them as well. That's impressive. Very impressive.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. And Real Life Short 2018. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to what you're doing now. Real Life. That was a short. And
that was a short concept that I was going through something. It was something going on politically, and I just kind of felt inspired to make something kind of like a political message. And I've never actually done that before, and I wanted to put my spin on it. So
there's a lot of things going on politically.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of things going on politically. we
Our
can go there.
Climate that we're in is interesting.
Yeah, we can go there. Interesting is to say the least. Stop tweeting, man. Stop tweeting. I'm sure his staff is just on edge every day.
Right?
What are you doing?
Oh, I know. Every day it's like, what's going on?
Oh my goodness! If I try stand up, I'll say, what did he tweet again? If I try stand up and start, I think Mark Maron, that's one of his bits. Is he gets up and his first line is, what did Trump just tweet? And people will go gasp, and he'll say, I don't know what he tweeted, but you gasped, didn't you? You freaked out, didn't you? Just okay.
Yeah,
there you go. So
it's crazy.
So this is political along that line, or something else was going on?
Yeah, it touches about a lot of subjects, and it was a film festival competition going on, and you could win like 10,000. And I submitted it, and I wrote it for the competition, and it's, I was submitting it in, and you get featured in like magazines, you get featured in a press, a lot of great opportunities open the door. So I didn't win first, but I did get semifinals, and I got a lot of recognition. I won some awards, and that just opened up a lot of doors. And now I have so the story is it's the short. It's no talking, no dialogue. It's just kind of very nostalgic, but also a really cool score and some voiceovers of some of our leaders saying some very political things, in each scene. So the first scene is this Mexican guy at a gas station looking around for something, but he's not buying anything. He's looking, and the store owner is just watching him, and it's that kind of bias. It's like, oh, well, if you're not picking anything up, it's like that. We make judgments by looking at someone. So without even actually saying it, we've got these actors. I think it was like maybe 20 or 30 actors involved.
Oh, I see that. And so you're saying voiceovers? Was it semi-documentary, or there was kind of voices coming in from real life?
Real life situation, yeah. One from, Martin Luther King, one from, all these political leaders that, had certain things to say, and we just kind of have a scene played out, and you're just watching it like, yeah, this is America. Like, if you watch it, this is literally the climate that we're in right now. And I don't have to say any dialogue. We're just showing you visually what's going on. So at the end, it just kind of makes you think, like,
amazing.
We got to do better. We got to figure this out.
Amazing. See, and you're creating Meosha. You have to make stuff that makes you feel, and these are things that are dear and important to you. These are concepts, and you putting them out there. Okay, skipping forward. Inhabituels, 2018. Did I say that right? Inhabituals? It's inhabitual. Oh my goodness. Talking hard. Why didn't I see that?
No,
I haven't seen that word in years. Inhabitual. Yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's actually I googled it, and it was like,
I'm not editing this.
I love it.
I talk wrong. Okay, thank you for the correction, Meosha Bean.
No, it's okay.
All right, inhabituals.
So that's another short concept. And that was just for some studios, and I started the short concept for to show them like this could be a movie idea. So essentially, it's just really short, and I pitched it to a lot of studios, and they loved it. A few big major studios were like, "Oh my God, we love this concept."
Yes.
So I have some really cool contacts from some big major studios, and it's they want to take the character, and they want to kind of expand and make a story off of that. I don't write much like that, but we'll see what happens. I told them, I was like, we can totally like talk more of like expanding it, as like a a movie, a feature and something like that. So we'll see. I'm totally open to like other writers being involved, and I have the concept, but it could, if a studio is behind it, I'm totally open to making changes.
Oh, sure. And you mentioned earlier that you have representation, so you always have somebody in the room with you, kind of helping you out, kind of getting that, making that deal with you. Is that what happens?
Well, this one was something I just reached out to a few.
Gotcha.
I just research a lot and figure out, okay, what makes sense. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just go and talk to them and ask them a question about what they're looking for, and just kind of make my presence known to these studio companies and studio heads. I think it's very important to put yourself out there and have some type of material.
Very good. Okay, so yes, and so you're able to go on your own to do these meetings, and you go by yourself then.
Sometimes I go myself, sometimes I go with some film partners. Like my mentor, Ronnie Warner, he's worked for Warner Brothers for years. He made a few big movies, several actually, and so talented. Excellent. And so, he's a really cool mentor of mine. So I go to a lot of my mentors that have already done it and, kind of can help me figure it out. And
so you say Ronnie Warner out of Warner Brothers. No relation?
Oh, no.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah.
A happy coincidence that he works.
He's a cool guy, though. He's cool.
Oh, I'm sure. But no, that's funny. Hey, my name's Warner. I have no choice but to make movies. My name's DiCaprio. I have no choice but to, you got certain names that, Nicholson. My name's Nicholson. I have no choice but to do these things, But, and soon in the future, they're going to say, my name's Meosha. I have no choice but to be just like her and do this. Meosha Bean.
Thank you.
No, for sure.
So much.
And 2018, The Soul Thief After Midnight. Wow. that title just says, yeah. Excellent.
So that was actually part of a series was a part of a feature. So I did a horror anthology, a feature film under my company, MBB Films Productions, which is essentially just Meosha Bean, which is my name.
Yes.
And we made a few shorts, and not a few shorts, but like maybe possibly like we had like 10 different shorts, and it all like was it's about an hour and. Like an hour and 20 minutes feature.
And okay, now you mentioned MVB Productions, and I encourage anyone. I've mentioned it on the podcast before, is to incorporate yourself. When you're in the entertainment business, you need to incorporate yourself in any business. Really, it just gives you that shelter, that protection. That way they're not paying Meosha, they're paying MVP or MVB. So when did you figure that out? When did you develop MVB Productions and make that official?
MVB Films Productions, by the help of my parents, was in 2003.
Good.
It was born in 2003. So I was essentially everything I was doing was under that.
Excellent.
And my parents had a patent, and so no one can steal and copyright my stuff. So everything's covered. Thank God.
Oh yeah, my business is out of Florida as well. Keys Brand Enterprises, established 2004. So you got me by 1 year. Even though I've been DJing since '86, I never found the need to incorporate myself, and I went, wait a minute, I think I need to do this, and I did, and yes, you're protecting yourself, and that's a good thing. Yeah. Excellent news. Yeah. And your mom and dad were in it. They were like, yeah, let's do this. Let's put this together and protect our kid, our baby girl. Yeah. And that's okay. So the Oracle of Nunchuku, a master chancla series. Wow, chancla to me is like flip flops. Were you throwing flip flops?
What happened? Yeah, I was flip flopping. I was doing a lot of different.
No. The Oracle of Nunchuku, a master chancla series. Chancla to me, I'm half Cuban from Miami, of course. So
you're half Cuban.
I'm half Cuban, so
Oh, me too. My dad's family from Cuba. Cool.
Hey. Okay.
I've never been yet. So then.
No.
I definitely want to go.
El resto de este programa está en español ahora. So no, I'm saying like the rest of this show will now be in Spanish. So no, to me, a chancla is a flip flop. That's what I meant. Is that what the Oracle is? They throwing flip flops?
Yeah, he's just this funny. It's a comedy. It's making fun of, the whole concept of like the Oracle and just kind of making it kind of wacky and funny and crazy. And he had a few of those, and I was like, you know what? Let's shoot it. And I shot it. He directed it, and or maybe I directed. I think I maybe directed. We did a few. We did so many projects together.
No, we got you as director, and you're back together with Big Dog Mariano Mendoza. That's excellent.
Yeah.
See, you developed that relationship. That's great.
Yeah, I try to continue to have. I think it's all about friendships and maintaining that friendship with everybody. You know, something will come up, and like, oh, let's do something together. Let's create, or
You got Master Chancla last year and MVP Films Halloween Horror Stories Volume 2. I didn't even see Volume 1. When did Volume 1 come about? I didn't see it.
It's actually it's a series of short anthology that I wrote and got cast and got some actors in, and we got a place for it to live on the fifth season. So
yes, kind of like a Grindhouse, maybe.
Huh?
Kind of like a Grindhouse film?
Exactly.
Oh, that, I remember growing up, and I don't know if kids still do this. I remember, kids don't go outside and play anymore, which is sad. But I used to ride my bike with my next door neighbors, and we ride our bikes all the way to the movie theater, which was miles away, and spend all Saturday watching Kung Fu films. And it was like a whole series of them. And this is what I'm imagining your shorts is where you could spend a whole day watching these horror films, courtesy of Meosha Bean. Is that what's happening? Is that what this is? Just a collection?
Yeah, it's actually, shot some a concept of different short ideas and kind of intertwine them. Like they all have something in common. So it's like a different storyline, but definitely still dealing with the supernatural realm.
Yeah.
And so every story is essentially different actors, different scenarios. And it's just, in between it, it's like, Alan Poe.
Okay.
The poet guy, like his quotes.
Yes.
Edgar Allan Poe,
yeah.
His quotes are between each anthology, each short.
Ooh.
And then it goes to another one.
Nevermore.
So it's like an Alfred Hitchcock presents,
I like the concept.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh my goodness. Yes. And you've taken, Edgar Allan Poe, you've taken one of the greats and you've made
amazing.
A concept out of it. Sure. I mean, this guy, he had an incredible mind, a twisted mind.
Yes, I love it. I love that.
Oh, yes. So, and then I Want Mommy, another
yeah,
short.
That's another short for YouTube.
Another YouTube. Okay. And then Tea Talks with Meosha and Irina.
Yeah. So my friend and I, we literally have great conversations all the time, and we talk all the time. We have tea, and we talk about different things. And she's like, Meosha, let's make this a series. I'm like, you know what? That would be cool, because we have really engaging conversations. We talk about everything, like politics, life, domestic violence, abuse, film industry, Me Too movement, whatever the case is. We're literally talking about it. And it's so that's kind of how that show came about.
It's amazing. You're talking to your friend, and you realize, wow, we're talking about things that are pretty interesting. Maybe it'll be interesting to somebody else. Let's make a show. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's create something. Yeah. And you're putting it out there. That's what creators do. That's what you do, Meosha Bean. That's and you've been doing it. You've been you say you're working hard. I mean, I haven't even touched on the music videos. I mean, this is 7 years ago. You started making music videos.
Yes, I did.
With Roy Jones Jr., boxer, Rocky Balboa. This thing's currently got 334,000 views. And, you know, that's amazing in itself. How many music videos did you make?
When I first came to LA, when I first came, the guy from Facebook that I said that I met,
right?
He actually was one of the top music video directors in Hollywood.
Wow!
I literally started the next day on set shooting music videos. I was shooting for Chris Brown, Busta Rhymes. We shot Billy Idol's video. I mean, it was amazing. Keisha Cole, all the greats that you could ever think of. Music video wise, and it was a beautiful experience, but yet still my heart was like, I love this, but I want to do film, you know, and I know that that's really my heart. But it was great to have that experience and, you know, have those moments of meeting all those beautiful people and you know, working with Billy Idol was just insane, incredible. The guy he's so amazing.
Yeah.
Just cool.
Still amazing. So what video did you make for Billy Idol?
Huh?
What video did you make for Billy Idol?
It's called Can't Break Me Down. It's on YouTube, actually.
I'm sure it is.
He was coming back to the music industry, I think, this time. He was working on a new album, and that was one of the videos. It's in black and white, and it was beautifully, I mean, it was so, they had a director from Europe directing it, and I mean, it was such a great concept, and we spent all day shooting that video. It was kind of quiet because, you know, we didn't want to, we could announce it, and he, you know, came in and we shot it at the studio, and it was amazing. It was really cool.
So impressive. And you got 2-piece with Floyd Mayweather. Okay, you started, I guess there was a couple of that were boxing related. You know, one boxer comes in and says, hey, I want to do a music video. And then some more boxers come in and say, hey, we'll do music videos as well. Or I guess they want to do that kind of a concept. You start getting painted in that little box. But I see Element Rhymes, Can't Wait. Oh, my goodness. You've got some good stuff, man. See, and telling a story in 3 or 4 minutes, that's got to be another set of tools in itself, where you're trying to make these concepts, and you're telling a story while there's a song playing. You know, that's got to bend your mind in a different way. You know, how was that different than doing a movie?
Yeah, usually for me, I think I got a lot of, the whole storyboard concept for me came into play.
Yes.
I would have a concept, and then I would just kind of, in my head, I would write it, I would draw it out. I actually wanted to go to school for art. I did a little bit go to school for art, for a little bit, just like online, and I kind of stopped because it was like something I wasn't really passionate about.
Right.
But I was thinking about doing like art and taking that kind of, that direction. But, I just started doing storyboards, and for music videos, I usually meet with the music videos that I've shot and directed. Meet with the client, and they're telling me their ideas, and I'm like literally writing down things, you know, concepts, and then I'll shoot them some links of other video concepts that kind of has that feel and that kind of look that they're going for, and the message that they're going for, and kind of put our own spin on it. So then I come up with a storyboard and like a mood board for them to kind of just have an idea of what the video is going to be like. And then once I have the storyboard, I send it in, and they're like, oh, I want to do it. Let's do it. And
so this becomes a collaboration with the artists themselves.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, it's not you coming in. You're the boss. You're the director. You don't come in and say, no, we're doing it like this. You actually go in with the artist and get their feeling and their idea, and then you cement it. How do you mix that? How do you put your own spin on that? Or wow, just it how much of it is you and how much of it is them?
It varies. It really varies. Every artist is different. Some artists are more involved than others. Some artists, it just really depends on the person and their creative mindset and their team. And if it's a big team, if it's a small crew, or if it's like an individual artist, 9 times out of 10, it's just depends on their creative vision. Yeah,
So
that's kinda how it
Meosha Bean
yeah.
works well with others.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I mean, any other avenues you want to explore or you want to put out there for the people?
Well, I did a documentary.
Yeah. What's that?
It's I didn't make it, but I'm in a documentary.
Please.
And it's called Horror Noir, a history of black horror cinema. It's directed by Xavier Bergen, and I was featured in it alongside some amazing directors. Like you have Jordan Peele, you have Robert Townsend, you have all the
Robert Townsend,
the
Meteor Man,
yeah.
Robert Townsend, Hollywood Shuffles, Robert Townsend.
Yeah.
Meteor Man, one of my favorites. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Robert Townsend's amazing. Jordan Peele is amazing.
Jordan Peele's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. I mean, you have so many awesome people that are involved. Rhoda Vine. You have the guy that did I'm
reading the blurb from Hello. Is it Hello Au Revoir?
Say it again?
Is that what you're talking about? Hello Au Revoir?
Oh, no. It's called Horror Noir. Noire.
Okay.
Yeah. It should be up there. Candyman was in it. I mean, just amazing. It's a documentary about
Candyman. Todd, what's his name?
Todd.
Oh my goodness.
I want to say Teddy.
Every time I see him in another Tony Todd. Every time I see him in another film, I go Candyman. But I love it. Yeah. I love it. Every time he shows up, I go, "Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good." Yeah. What's he going to do now? Come on, Tony, throw me.
Right. Yeah. So that's actually on Shudder. Have you heard of the platform Shudder?
I have.
So it's on Shudder. You can watch it and check it out and let me know what you think. Yeah.
Hooray!
It's a really cool documentary.
Oh, I'm so stoked. Oh my goodness! And stuff that's coming up is Night at the Cinema and Something in the Night. Oh, you got stuff in the works, from Gainesville to L.A. And Meosha Bean, you're moving up. You're going on up. I mean, do you think
so much?
Do you think you can call yourself? I mean, yes, you can call yourself a working director. This is your job. You have nowhere to go, but continue. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, I'm completely impressed with you. I never know where these conversations are going to go, and I'm so happy to be talking to you, Meosha Bean.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to? Oh my goodness! So Horror Noir.
Yes.
See, I was looking that up, and I can't find it, but I'm sure.
It's under Self.
Self. Okay, because
I play myself in it.
Yeah, your IMDb is just extensive. You're working, and you've said it. You said it when you first. Yeah, there it is under Self, a history of black horror. Oh, excellent! And you said it in the beginning. If you want to make it work, go. Yeah. Yeah. It's because it's the acting business and the entertainment business. It's not sitting in your trailer and wait to be called. It's not right. It's not like somebody's going to call you and say, "Hey, you want to be an actor? You just got out of high school. Do you want to be an actor? You want to be a director? You want to be a cinematographer?" No, you got to go over and apply for that job. Walk the streets. I mean, and you started in Gainesville, Florida, of all places, and that's not a big mecca, but there's stuff to do. There's local businesses that need advertising. Go tap on their doors and see if that store front wants to have a live mannequin out there showcasing their outfits. You could be start with the modeling or start with taking some videos and put it on YouTube. You've done it. You've done it the right way. It's like people that work in jobs from the bottom and then become the manager. You worked from the bottom and now you're becoming the manager. You're heading that way. The director is the manager. No, thank you. Any last words for the people? Any other directions? I'm not even putting a time limit on this, man. I never do. You know, it's as much time as you want to tell your story, Meosha Bean.
Aw, thank you. No, I just like to always say, like, to anybody who wants to do or whatever it is they want to do for a living or whatever dream it is that you have, go for it. You know, don't let anyone stop you or tell you that you can or cannot do something. Don't believe it. Just believe in yourself. Also, find that circle of support that really supports you. And I think that's just really the thing. And just be a nice person. Be kind to others, you know, and really love what you do, because in the end, it's not really work if you love it. And everything else, I believe, will happen, you know.
You got me smiling, Meosha Bean. And I'm going to use your IMDb picture because that is the coolest smile. You got a nice dress there. You are glamour in that picture. And
Thank you.
Yeah. You're just, you know, just, you had me smiling this whole podcast, and
thank you so much.
Keep smiling, keep being a nice person, and keep doing that work and putting stuff out there that you enjoy. Oh, thank you, Meosha Bean.
Yay!
Oh yeah, how do people get in contact with you? How would you like them to get in contact with you or connect with you?
Yeah, you can Google me, Meosha, Meosha Bean, B as in boy. Yeah, it's not a stage name. It's all me. It's my real name. And you can also find me, Meosha Bean Official, on Instagram, Facebook, Meosha Bean. Yeah, everything is pretty much Meosha Bean, and YouTube, Meosha Bean 1. Number 1 on the end, and yeah, that's everything.
Well, I'll put all that in the show notes and let the people know how to get a hold of Meosha Bean. And if you're an actor, if you're a director, if you're anywhere in LA or even thinking about it, just get out there and go work with Meosha Bean. Go do it.
Oh.
Go get in contact with her. Oh, that's beautiful. Any last words for the people?
Oh, you're awesome. Awesome show. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I can't wait to hear it and share it with my followers.
Well, there you have it, party people. Meosha Bean. I know in the beginning of this podcast, I said Meosha Bean, filmmaker. No, it's Meosha Bean, filmmaker. Meosha Bean, artist. Meosha Bean, cinematographer. Meosha Bean, all-around entertainer. Meosha Bean, filmmaker, actress, writer. Yeah. If you need some help putting your film together, putting your project together, get in contact with Meosha Bean. She is a star. I'd say star on the rise, but she's already a star. She's working hard to get where she wants to be in Hollywood and beyond. You know, I don't think she'll stop at Hollywood. I think she'll go anywhere you want to get your project together. So director, cinematographer, editor, actress, filmmaker. Yeah. Award winning. She, you know, the blurb on her IMDb, I'll even read it. It says Meosha Bean is an award-winning actress and filmmaker, voted Best Upcoming Director at the New Jersey Film Festival 2012. Meosha started filming and acting at the tender age of 7 and has since completed roles in features and short films and music videos. Now the founder of MVB Films, established in 2003, Meosha projects have included An Untold Story of Mariano Mendoza, Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Season 23 and 4, which is soon to be released on DVD and online platforms. MVB Films presents Horror Short Stories, Volume 2 feature film, can be found on Amazon Prime later this year. Miss Pepper, her award-winning short, which gained in excess of 30,000 views in 1 week upon release. Meosha had garnered a micro-influence level following on YouTube at 15.3 thousand and subscribers and over 3.3 million plus views. After attending and acting and modeling school, she then went to do feature films, music videos, and promotional work. Among them, she worked with the legendary pro boxer Roy Jones Jr., legend in the game, singer Keisha Cole, designer and artist Ron Bass, who has made clothing worn by Beyonce and Jay-Z, music sensation Chris Brown, the king of rock Billy Idol, and many more. Yeah, I love it. It was so good talking to Meosha Bean. Thank you so much for being on the program. What makes you famous? Hey, you're already famous. You don't need Radio What making you famous. You're heading in the right direction. Started in Gainesville, Florida, and all the way out to Hollywood. Thanks again, Meosha Bean, for being on the podcast. And if you want to tell your story on the What Makes You Famous podcast, I encourage you. Give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What? The music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. The first TV commercial was a 20-second ad for a Bulova clock, broadcasted by WNBT New York during a game between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies in July 1941. Bulova paid $9 for that first TV spot. Bulova was also the first watch in space. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, radiowhat.com.
Tweet, yo. Follow Radio What on Twitter at Radio What Twit. Tweet, yo.